many people in the world who really don't understand. Freedom has many difficulties, but we have never had to put a wall up to keep our people in. Freedom is indivisible. And when one man is enslaved, all are not free.
Modern war has become a struggle for men's minds as well as for their bodies. Today we face an enemy who spends enormous sums of money and manpower all over the globe in an attempt to subvert the thinking of the people of the free world, to confuse, divide, and ultimately to subjugate.
It is a contest unlike any we have ever faced in our history as a nation.
Contest for the minds and hearts of people around the world, all people.
When power corrupts, poetry cleanses. We must never forget that art is not a form of propaganda. It is a form of truth.
Psychologists find that control of emotions can be gained by understanding the stimulus-response pattern. Many everyday things become associated with these primary stimuli, partly by a process called conditioning.
It's a strange, shadowy world. The doctored photograph, the misquotation, the insinuation, and the lie.
I think of fire in connection with emotion. Cause, effect.
You've got to get a hold of yourself.
We have to work together. You'll have to help.
We'll light our country and all who serve it, and the glow from that fire can truly light the world.
Yes, in modern warfare, our military leaders are finding that words and ideas are highly effective weapons.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of the host, producers, or any affiliated organization. This podcast may include sensitive discussion related to topics such as child protection, abuse, and criminal behavior. The content is intended for informational, educational, and awareness purposes only, does not constitute legal, medical, or professional advice. Any reference to individuals, cases, or events are based on personal perspective, professional experience, or publicly available information and should not be interpreted as statements of fact regarding any specific person or situation. The host, speakers, and producers disclaim any liability for actions taken by listeners based on the content of this podcast. Listeners are encouraged to seek qualified professional guidance for their specific circumstances. Listeners' discretion is advised. All individuals are presumed innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law.
Hey.
Well, hello, guys. How y'all doing?
Crack a liquor.
Good. Sorry, guys, we're running a little late. We were at Farrah William Deck. Am I saying that correctly? Yep. Her meet and greet at Maryville Billiards, and we got a little. We left there a little later than we wanted. We had a good time, though. You know what I mean? So, nice little place. Yeah. So, getting started a little late, and Crystal will be popping in here shortly. She's a mom. She had football practice. I got spring practice going on. So just as soon as she gets in and gets that done, she'll be on the show with us. But I think what we wanted to start the show off tonight, it's the hot topic that's going on right now in Blount County, is these, I think they're letters that came in the mail, correct?
Yeah.
Appraisal letters, right?
Appraisal letters.
Yeah. Kind of odd, though, don't you think? I would think if, being that it's the primaries are just around the corner, early election starts on the 15th, that some of these there would have been some sort of coordination to say maybe wait till after the election before you send out the appraisal letters. I don't know how that works. I'm not an expert at it, but man, oh man, it's got a lot of people. Go ahead.
Yeah, that may be something they got a certain date set for and have to stick to it. I don't know how that works either.
Yeah, it's odd to me. Go ahead, Jason.
They at the workshop they said that they weren't raising our taxes, just the appraisal went up. They were going to adjust the tax rate.
Right. It's not going to make the bottom line go down. I'll take that back. I'll be very surprised if the bottom line goes down. What you actually pay.
I know my homeowners is going to go up now.
Right. And how long have you owned your house, Jason?
Since 09, 08, at the end of 08.
So since you've been let's put aside the tax rate, the appraisal, all of that stuff, and let's just look at the money you take and pay for your property tax. Since 09, has it ever came down?
No.
Even though your property value has went up, down, up, down, up, down, what you pay out of your pocket, it's always going to rise. Now they can come out and they'll say, "Oh, everybody's property value went up so much, we're going to drop that tax rate because you're taxed at the tax rate they set for 25% of your value per 100. So you can take a quarter of your property's value, and then every $100 that's in that 25% is taxed by this. I think it's $1.59 right now.
Really?
I don't know what it is. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's $1.59. But they can bring that tax rate down to, and I'm just using this as a for instance, but then let's say they can drop it down to 130. Then they can come out and say, well, we seen how much the value went up, so we dropped the tax rate down from this to this. It sounds good. It sounds like they're looking out for you, but you're still paying more than what you did the last cycle. When it's time to calculate that up and pay the piper, just like Jason just said, since 09, his has never came down. They've always went up. Now, whether it's by $1 or $10, which I've heard them say that too. Well, it's just $8. Sure, but that's $8 more dollars every 2 years now. If that's the game we play.
So there's this post that Catherine shared. You guys want to check it out real quick? There we go. Let me. It says property taxes. I did not write this, but it was posted locally. It says a citizen's righteous testimony. I'm being taxed on money I never made. Let that sink in. I bought my property outright for $96,000 in 2015. Now the county says it's worth $246. Did I sell it? No. Did I make a profit? No. Did I get a check for the $246,000? No. But my taxes jumped like I did. That's the problem. This isn't income. This isn't cash. This is a number someone decided on paper, and now I'm being billed for it. Now I agree with that. I don't know who assesses 100%. I'm not an expert on it. That's a different office than the commission, correct?
Yes. That's the property assessor's office. That's Todd Orr, and I reckon last appraisal cycle, they used Google Earth. They paid for Google Earth service, and they used Google Earth to look at the properties.
So it carries on. It says, if my stock portfolio doubles, I don't pay taxes until I sell it. If my income doesn't increase, I don't magically owe more income tax. So why does owning a home work differently? Why am I being taxed on unrealized gain? A house isn't just an investment, it's where people live. And the system means you can do everything right, pay off your house, and still get squeezed harder every year because of a number you never turned into money. You don't truly own something if you can be taxed out of it. That's amazing.
That's what I was just fixing to say.
Yeah,
What
that's a
happens
heck
if you
of a
don't?
statement. Yep.
What if you
I
don't
like
pay
that.
taxes on that home that you 100% own outright? You may even built it. You may not had somebody else build it. You and your family may have built it. You know,
Yeah.
which is really crazy right there.
It's crazy. And then it says this isn't about service or inflation. It's about being charged for value you never received, and people are starting to notice. Share this needs to be on everyone's mind. And I don't disagree
No.
with any of that.
That's 100% accurate. Being taxed on money that you've never made. It's
Right.
a what if. Well, if you was to sell your house right now, this is what you could sell it for, which may or may not even be true. You know,
Right.
maybe next week something happens and everything goes down.
So you said it's Tydor's office, because is Tydor still property assessor? Or is he running for a different office?
No, he's still property assessor. I think his election runs with the presidential election.
So
And,
28 or
River was
something.
talking about that the other night.
Okay. Okay. So I wonder why the commission and the proper it's property assessor, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why would they weren't on the same page? You know, the commission's got to be. It makes me wonder if they're not talking among themselves with if this was a curse or something. You know what I mean? Because elections are early and they're coming up, and if you go back and look at their voting, you're going to see who voted for and who voted against. And what was it? So they're reassessing property taxes now. What, every 2 years, Robert?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's based.
every 2 years.
And they're saying that's the right thing, right? I mean, that was the answer.
Who's saying that's the right thing?
Can I say the commission? Is that the right way to say that? The commission is saying that it was probably better to do it on a 2 year than a 3 year.
Well, you know,
I
the commission backed up Todd Orr.
Yeah.
Yeah, the commission all voted
most
for
of
that.
them did. They
Well, I
did
don't
have
know.
a big discussion. They were a handful of them that didn't want it or didn't
Right.
think it was the right time. Because
Right.
we're the first one out of 95 counties in Tennessee to adopt that. Nobody else has. Some of the commissioners were like, why don't we let somebody else be the first one and see what happens?
So the first one out of 95 counties to adopt a what?
Every 2 year appraisal.
Otherwise, everybody else operates on what?
4 years or more.
A
You can
4
go
year-
up to every 6 years.
And so our county said that based on the study or whatever research that they did, said that it was better based on the fact that the property assessed, I would say, since COVID. Would you guys say it's exponentially grown since then?
Oh, yeah.
Jason?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I need to look up this word, and I'll be able to explain it better.
The reason I ask you, you've been a homeowner longer than me, and then what I own, I'm not so sure that. You know, I have a trailer. It sits on a small lot. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if this really affects me that much. You know, dollars and cents maybe compared to
You may
some
be paying
people.
it monthly like I am.
No, I've asked her. Yeah.
They charge us monthly.
No.
They, like whatever last year's tax rate was, they kind of chop that into that.
So what I can say is, as long as I don't do any more than what I've done, then what's in my escrow should cover it, even with this jump. I'm going to say, and I'm not exactly sure. That's why I'm asking. You know what I mean? So it's a discussion to be had, because if you're commissioned right now, you're running for re-election, you're just wondering why this came out like this. If it was me, I'd be asking that question. Why'd this come out now? And because it's going to make people dig into what's going on. How far back do you think this goes, Robert, with the commission based on?
At least to the last election. The set of people we have in their commission right now, it at least goes back to the 4 years before that.
Okay.
I would think, because that's when they started. Or no, that maybe it was last year when they started dropping it. So yeah, at least a couple years, because they had to come down 1 year at a time.
Yeah.
So it was already talked about last year, and I believe Todd Orr said that while he was at the podium.
He did.
Yeah.
There was some, the way the steps, the way you had to do it before you could just drop it to 2. It was the yearly thing that they've been working on.
Yes.
Since I don't know when.
So William Goins says that they take the value of neighboring properties that have sold for, I don't know how they get the math. Whatever Todd Orr does, whatever that office does, that the math creates these.
If you
jumps.
ask them, they go by market rate, which is pretty much, it's whatever people want to sell property for then, and whatever people are buying it for. Like, there's no definitive answer. And they'll even tell you that. Like, it totally 100% relies on market value. And so I guess they're saying right now the market value is up.
It's a fake one, though, if you ask me. I mean, because people are coming here paying whatever people wanted just for a house.
Yes.
So how can that be based on truth when I don't think it is. Just because a millionaire from California will pay double what somebody's house is worth, why does that make it truly worth that? I don't think it should.
Again, that's a question for somebody that's smarter than me. William Goins says again, because of the growth of our population, people coming from other states, basically what you just said, Jason, that they have higher tax rates and higher property rates, plus the cost of materials to build a house are figured into the property tax rate. Again, I'm not an expert on any of this, and I'm more new to it. But what I can tell you is I'm a little surprised that there's probably not more going on in the comments about this, because when that letter came out, I mean, I know some commissioners that commented on some of these things about how the just because the appraisal went up, the tax rate. Am I saying that right, Robert? Should change. If the appraisal of the property goes up, the tax rate shouldn't change. Is that what they're saying?
It should come down. If the property value goes up, you want tax rate to come down, because if tax rate stays the same and it takes a big jump like it has for some people, then it's going to be a lot more that you're paying.
Right. I mean, I mean, when we sit back and look at what we think is real math, yeah, your property jumps 70, 80, 90, 100,000 in this letter. You got on the tax. I mean, that's how much more higher a year. What was $200-$300?
I don't know. I think Ron French made the comment up there. It may go up by $8, but I don't know if anybody's ever seen it go up that least amount.
Okay.
But yeah, if the tax rate would not get adjusted, if it stayed where it was at right now, then yeah, that'd be a big jump in what you was paying also.
Right.
Probably a couple hundred or more.
Yes. You got anything you want to say more about that?
I think everyone pretty much sees through it.
Sees through what?
all of this, for what it is, you know.
So, do you think it's just a scare tactic kind of thing, or and we probably shouldn't worry about it, or?
Oh, are you talking about just the timing of the letters coming out?
I mean, look, to me, I think that's strange. Okay, but
It is.
I live in a different reality than a lot of other people. And I don't know if this was a an action that was made for gain to make the commission look bad, or
Right.
you know what I'm saying. I just don't know. Again, if I was on the commission, I would be wondering why the hell that letter had to go out like it did.
And they may be nothing to it. They may send it out the same
True.
time every year.
And they may know, the commission may know about it too. So it's
Yeah,
not like
yeah.
I have the answer, and I guess I'm learning as I go, just like everybody else is. I say everybody else because when you're property tax, you get a letter like that, it scares people,
Yeah,
right? I
yeah.
mean,
It definitely creates emotion too, because people are like, "What the hell?" You know.
um,
Especially what I've heard from a lot of people too is like my buddy that showed me his. It went up an even $100,000, and he's like, "I don't get this, Rob. I ain't even done nothing to my property. If anything, it's in worse shape than it was." You know.
right.
So not making any improvements and your property jumps 100K, it's like, why and how? And the answers you get for that aren't really answers you want to hear anyway.
Well, I mean, what do you say? I mean, um, so I saw a sign today that, I got a text message. That's what it was. What's it say? I kept it. Let's see. Right here. Jerome Moon. And in his text says, making Blount stronger. Moon's vision is to stop overdevelopment now. Cut taxes. Look at there. How you doing,
Crystal
Miss
has entered the
Crystal?
building.
Look
Hey,
at that.
it's been a crazy day. I'm sorry I'm late, guys.
You're fine, but it was wild. You just added yourself. I saw you down there, and I wasn't going to add you until I saw your face. But then you put
Yep,
yourself. I'm amazed,
I
man.
added her.
Oh,
I
did you?
figured it out.
Yeah.
Look at
We
that.
figured it out.
You guys look. I don't even know what the hell's going on here. You know that? That's kind of funny. So, anyway, I'm going to go back to what I was talking about. Jerome Moon. He cuts taxes and wastes in government. He keeps illegal immigrants off our streets. He protects seniors and veterans from fraud. He makes government work for us. Well, that was the text message I got. But wasn't he part of the tax thing, like in the very beginning?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So
another list floating around there showing everything that he's voted against or voted for, and it going the opposite of what that text says. A lot of people got mailers and flyers and stuff like that. My mom got one that said nobody cuts taxes like Jerome Moon.
yeah, even you see what Kim in the chat says about hers. Concrete. They concrete their driveway 5 years ago and paid 16.5. The first appraisal that made it go up 120 grand. Before they pay for the driveway and they tax you more for forever. And since it's went up another 120,000.
Ooh.
I
Right.
put this garage up, and it went from 192 to 433 now.
Goodness gracious.
192 to 433.
That's what they've increased it to since 24. I had this put up in 24, and it was the building itself was only $9,200.
So William Goins, he keeps on going, man. He says, and I don't know how much is real or not, but it's in the chat. I thought it would be that Monty Fritz for governor has the answer that property taxes need to be established by true value of the property, not by the surrounding cost of the neighboring properties.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the sound of Fritz.
Well, I don't know much about him, so I'm not saying anything, as far as governor goes. But And then James Richard says that look at the money that's coming in. California property is way higher, and somebody wants their money. So no matter what it costs you, because when they come here, they're not paying anywhere near where they're paying from where they're at. So it's like super cheap to come here, and then it drove the costs of everything that we do. Like I can't buy now. I might be able to afford a house in Eagleton Village. What are they about 900 square feet? Some of them little homes.
Yeah.
What are they just a tick under 200,000, maybe. You know what I mean? Which is probably way overpriced as it is because the lots are very, very small. But I went the route that I did because to rent someplace seemed like a single unit apartment or a single bedroom apartment, efficiency apartment, whatever, was 12, 15, $1,600 a month. And anything nicer was like 18 on up, right? So 2 bedroom and so on and so forth. So I went the route that I did, and I don't pay anywhere near that. And I'm glad because I was hoping the market would eventually come down to where I could buy another house and then either rent this thing out or sell it off right or whatever, But with these property appraisals like this, it was just shocking. And again, what I saw, over the last 24 hours, I really thought that people would be, more of the comments would be coming on here than what was because you saw everything that was going on. I mean, people were sharing things and that kind of stuff like that. So, well, maybe it's not. Maybe they're not as worried, is what I thought.
I've seen a lot on there, especially in the speak out groups. They're not happy over it for sure. I don't think I've seen anybody that's like, hell yeah, man, my property taxes went up like $80,000. Can you believe that, dude? Like, I didn't think it was going to happen, but it did. Yes. There ain't nobody out there like that.
That's funny.
Because they know what's coming next with the tax rate adjustment and then the final bill that you pay. That's what's going to be more. Yeah, just because value went up don't mean. I've seen a few people post that today. I think commissioners also. Just because your value went up don't mean you're going to pay more in taxes. It certainly don't mean you're going to pay less at all.
Right, I see that.
What are you talking about? Like that's what it's going to boil down to, whether it's $1 or $100 or $1,000. It's still more, and nowadays, dude, every dollar counts for a lot of people.
Yeah. How do you feel about it, Jason?
It's kind of depressing. I mean, I just don't see it. But it's if I win, I'm gonna try to keep it. I mean, what I'm thinking is, since all the people that come in here, which we need more money, tax money to fix roads and stuff, but I don't think it should be such a hike because so many more people paying in. Why can't the kitty be smaller?
Well, you seen they just came out with that budget, $274 million. So
do you have something on that tonight, Robert?
Kristen sent us in the chat last night. It's the breakdown of it.
Right.
Yeah, that's the one that goes. I guess their fiscal year is June to June or something like that.
Right. Yep.
To that document that the commissioners voted on last summer.
So that's for the fiscal year. So that'll end in June, or is this the new one?
This new one.
274.
Yeah, FY 26. That's fiscal year 26.
Right.
Does anybody know what it was last year? I mean,
it shows on the, or no, it shows the recommended and the final.
Yeah. How much they think each thing should cost and how much they ended up voting on, to apply towards each item on the budget.
Seems like the last year's budget, I want to say, was around 237, 247, something like that. And
then this year it's another 100 million more, or 10 million more.
About 30. if my numbers are right, about 30
Right.
million.
So that what you sent. Go ahead, Jason.
I'm sorry. I was just, go ahead. No, you go.
That what you sent, Crystal. How many pages was it?
Oh gosh, it was almost 300 pages. I'll be honest, I only looked through about the first 5. I think the numbers are on about the first 3, and I've just, I'm constantly juggling kids, so I don't have time to sit and read 300 pages
Right.
worth of a budget. I don't know many people that are doing the family life thing that have time to sit down and read what their taxpayer money is going to and how it's allocated. But, 300 pages if you've got the time, sit and stew with it. I did notice though, and I don't begin to understand the logistics of all this very well, but I can look at numbers and I can, see maybe where there's some kind of discrepancy. And I did notice that somewhere along the lines of the school budget, it's like halfway down the numbers part on one of the first 3 pages, it talks about, it shows how much is allocated to schools and how much they actually are going to put towards schools. And it was hugely different. Like the expected amount versus how much they chose to put towards schools, there was a huge disparity. And when you look at when they get through the chart of numbers, it says, basically in layman's terms, just to let you know, we decided on this amount for schools because we're going to depend on the federal government to make up the rest. That's what I got out of it. So if you read the fine lines down at the bottom, it kind of explains why they deviated one way or another on each of the budget items. So I thought the school one really stood out to me because it was significantly less than what the anticipated amount needed for the schools would have been.
Why are we dependent on federal government for funding? That's a problem because that's where these stupid little rules come into play that you have to follow these guidelines or you don't receive that government funding. And when you don't receive it, then these whatever they create, these programs from the funding that they get, they pay the price. But I'm not so sure that some of the programs are what we want. Anyway, I just don't really. I mean, if we're budgeted for the year fiscally for the school, why is on a county level? Why is it this? I don't know. I don't really have all. The more that the federal government is involved in the whole help thing, the worse this becomes. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
But it's 300 pages.
Yeah, just under 300 pages.
So I guess we need to go through it and then maybe find something and then bring it out over the next couple of weeks in our Blount County breakdown and see, see just exactly what's going on. But anyway, that was the appraisal there. And we're kind of sort of being told that taxes will be relatively the same. And we probably shouldn't freak out about what's going on. I agree that you probably shouldn't freak out. I know these people that got the letters. I don't know them personally. I just meant that, like with everything, we should wait, 24, 72 hours before you probably, make a rational decision and then maybe put it out there in a public square. You know what I mean? So, but I thought it was
pretty much a waiting game until that tax rate comes out now.
When do you think that'll be?
I don't. You was at the workshop, wasn't you, Jason? Did they say anything about it going on this Thursday?
They just was talking about how they weren't going to raise taxes.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They probably got a certain time they've got to do it before.
Right.
So,
true. Yep. Very, very true.
That'll be what tells the tale.
Yep. Wait and see game.
No more taxation.
So is this something that probably happens after the election or the primaries? Not maybe the August thing, but something that the commission goes into before the big vote. I'm just hypothetically thinking out loud here. What do you think? I would say if I was on the commission, I would want to vote for this before the new batch, if anybody lost their office in the election, you know what I mean?
Right.
What are you asking about? What's going to happen?
So we were
When
trying
they
to,
set the tax rate.
right, we were trying to predict. We're hypothetically thinking here, you know what I mean? Would this happen before, the August election, before the obviously,
Typically
yeah.
during the month of June is when they
So
set
it's after the primary then.
The current property tax rate is $1.59 per $100 of assessed value,
Okay.
and that's actually 25% of assessed value. So yeah, they'll drop it from 159. I'm guessing probably into the mid 30s, high 30s maybe.
Looks like it falls in line with their fiscal year, so I guess they decide all this right around the same time in June or so is the beginning or the end and the beginning of the fiscal year for the county commissioners.
So look, I know we're just talking out loud here, but I think it's good that we would try to pay attention to what they do over the next, just based on this right here. There were times in my life where I wanted to go blame the commission and later found out that they didn't have anything to do with it. For example, 2 years ago, I'd be all over the commission over the property appraisal, and then I would have been told, abruptly that they didn't have anything to do with that at all, So it's the other things that come into play.
We do know for certain that they set that tax rate.
Right.
The state of Tennessee sends a recommended tax rate, and then they either choose to go with that or change it to what they want. We have learned that. Learned that.
Learned, Learnt, learned.
Yeah, we learned that.
Okay. All right. So do you want to move on to the next topic? Crystal, do you have a specific topic this evening, or we're just going to go along with everything that's been kind of going on? There's really enough out there to talk about.
There's so much to talk about. I've got a couple things that I've been working on, but I don't have any resolutions per se. But I'm working towards it. I learned some things today. Let's see, what was it called? There was I'm looking it up because my memory is not happy right now. Resolutions with the commission last year, right after the Dalton sentencing. I've been digging into that. So we're looking at 2505, 014, and 2505, 015. And so basically this was, what was it? About 2 or 3 weeks after the Dalton sentencing and after the protesting and the news media and all that chaos, the commissioners decided to vote on a resolution that was sponsored by Jared Anderson and a handful of other ones. I think Misty Davis is on there. Mike Ackard was maybe on one of the other of them. But what it was they basically wanted to reevaluate a couple of state laws regarding how pedophiles are charged or how they can be charged or sentenced and prosecuted. And the commissioners decided that they wanted to make a resolution to make amendments to these state laws. And it passed unanimously. I was there. I've not been able to make it out to a lot of commissioner meetings, but that was when I was at, and I quoted Dr. Seuss before they did the vote. And the vote was unanimous. Yes, we want to all agree with this resolution. Well, I went kind of in a frenzy trying to figure out, well, where is this resolution at? Whatever became of it, because we've not heard a peep about it since. Everybody's happy. We got the resolution passed. All right, now what? So, looking back, it's been 11 months, and I was reading through the...
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, right in the middle of her...
Crystal.
Hang on. She's popped back in. Hang on. You see her down there, Robert?
Yeah.
There we go.
Sorry, guys.
You're fine.
Sorry about that. So now I'm getting to the resolution, and then I interrupted myself. But no, the very bottom line of it, and I can't even pull it up now. I'm so not tech savvy. I try, but I've got it on a screenshot on my phone. I just want to read one sentence out of it because this was like my Blue's Clues for the day. It says. All right, for the 2505-014 resolution, it says, be it further resolved that this resolution shall be forwarded to Blount County's state legislators and to leadership of both houses of the General Assembly. And so, I've been learning a lot of stuff as I go, but that's basically Hatcher, Stinnett, Moon, and Cameron Sexton and Randy McNally, that this particular resolution that's trying to protect the kids and make it so that this, quote, never happens again. I'm assuming they sent it to those parties that I named off based off of what the resolution says they're going to do, but we haven't heard anything, and so I'm going to be reaching out to these people via email and see if they can give me any indication of what's going on with that resolution, because I've looked all through the Tennessee government websites, and I can't seem to find any indication that it's, been turned into a bill or somebody's trying to fix any of this. So trying to figure out what happened.
So has that thing got to be sponsored or something?
I think it maybe has to be sponsored by the people they send it to.
Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, I want to know.
I talked to my guy about that, and he said that they sent it to Nashville, and he said that they haven't heard anything back, and he said they probably won't. And he said, and that's it.
So by sending it to Nashville, is that our state legislators and General Assembly, or
yeah,
they just kind of sweep it under the rug because it made us all shut up for a while about Dalton, or?
Well, and it has to go to the judiciary branch of our local government. Right. They're the ones who, and that's Nashville, and I kind of think the people of Nashville are okay with it,
Somebody's dropping the ball somewhere, and I'm gonna see if I can't figure it out.
Right. So it's just kind of just floating around, not doing anything, just sitting out there, huh?
It's left. It's in their hands. The governors, or not governors, but the Moon and the people in those positions.
Right.
Well, I'll be sending them an email either tonight or in the morning because I finally figured out where it was supposed to go and who should have handled it once it passed the commission. So
right. So once it passed the commission, it should have went where it was supposed to go quicker than what it did. Is that what you're trying to allude to, maybe?
I don't know, because I'm not in, that high into politics or anything, but it would seem like as angry as the tone of one of the supporting resolution was because of all the things that people disagreed with about the sentencing of Dalton, it seems as though because of the tone of that you would think, hey, this is pretty pertinent. We want to make sure it, quote, I'll quote again, never happens again.
Right.
And how are we going to make sure it never happens again when we can't even have our voices heard about amending the laws, and yet here we see other people that have been charged with child sex crimes of various natures, and people are saying, hey, it looks like they're giving them a sweetheart deal, or they're getting them slapped on the wrist again. We're just going to keep pushing the pedophiles through because somebody's dragging their feet, or could they update us and let us know where those resolutions stand?
Right.
I'm going to try to figure it out, but yeah, I've been researching on that today and learning as I go.
Right, yep. Holy cow. What are you doing up there, Jace?
When I got to do my candid conversation, I only got to go through a little over half of all the papers I had. But the commissioners, they really did all they could do about the Dalton situation, because they're not legislative. I mean, they're not judicial. They can't make laws. They said if they all together send something to them, then it will be looked at. It'll be looked at sooner or put more thought into it than if just us, the little people, was to do it. But it said, I was told if there's a grievance pertaining to matters of law, that it has to go through the DA, the Attorney General, and the state senators. And they said that the commissioners, they can't. Their hands are tied with that kind of stuff.
Right. So as long as the commissioners really truly did send that, and I would imagine that they would, because the paper trail, there's a paper trail somewhere. I would hope so. I mean, people were, very vocal about all of that during that time. It's just a shame. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to follow up with these legislators and the General Assembly people, and I hope that maybe other people can also reach out, because I think something's missing. Of course, I don't know because I'm not in Nashville.
It's up to the higher echelon. They're waiting on them to do something. And whether they care or not, nobody knows. But one of them wants to be our mayor.
Yep.
So I don't know.
I was fixing to say, we know who all's up there right now.
Well, and aren't they tied in? Aren't those like the three amigos of the Blount partnership or something like that? It seems as though I remember seeing a picture float around.
Yeah. Which was it? You got Jerome Moon,
Tom Stinnett, Tom Hatcher.
Yeah.
Trifecta.
A trifecta. Trifecta. Yeah, they're not good for Blount County. Let's see. I have since we brought him up, where we at?
Did y'all see what McNeil put on Facebook about any vote not for Anderson will be for Moon?
Why is that?
He was saying, like, if you waste a vote not voting for Anderson, then it'll be Moon win.
It says, you mean the don't waste your vote, County Mayor Jared Anderson or Jerome Moon?
Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah,
Hang on. I'm trying to pull it up now. That one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that's it. My wife asked me, did I see it?
So it says, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's from McNeil. So that's probably it. Yeah, don't waste your
vote. Yeah, don't waste your vote. You see all the comments down through there, don't you? And then, let's see. Let's go here. What I wanted to share was this. Right here. Did it pop it up? What? Okay. Sorry, guys. I got it now. He was fixing to pull up the same thing. Okay, look at this right here. Mike Aker, Black County Commissioner. He was trying to tell the Townsend voters, okay? It says, hey, Townsend Wallen voters, it was just confirmed to me via his own post that Gordon Edward Wright II is another puppet running for office. He quite literally just proved it with a post on Facebook after all that has been happening in the area. While Moon gets mega props as a veteran, his activity in local politics is damning for sure for anyone that's actually been paying attention instead of grabbing press releases. Plus, as I mentioned, he's 80 years old with no plans to finish his term if he wins the election. Now, this is a commissioner, guys, right? I don't make this story up, but I do feel the need to mention it as there is no good reason to leave a part-time job from a much higher office in Nashville to step into a lower level time job at a county level without there being an unmentionable plan. You agree with that?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
It
Says
seems strange.
It seems strange,
That's the first thing I wondered when I heard about him.
So it says Moon has always treated me respectfully outside commission meetings, as we most definitely did not always see eye to eye while serving on commission when he was chairman, voting to raise your taxes and deny me an opportunity to even discuss the reason to vote against the property tax increase he led. Right? If you don't believe he took said action to prevent my comments from being made in a public meeting, please don't hesitate to go watch the meeting videos from May and June 2015. This is an 11-year thing, guys. You see that?
Oh, yeah.
Property taxes that are shown online. And by the way, this was the largest tax increase in Blount County's history and was actively involved in preventing me from speaking in public my opinion from my duly elected seat on the commission. And Gordon Wright came out and said, I don't like the tone of your post. Moon has devoted many years to our country as a veteran, Blount County and Tennessee, and this is very disrespectful. His experience at the state level is something no other candidate has, and his knowledge can help Blount County tremendously. And then Mike, obviously, is the response right there. Well, I reached out to Gordon because I reached out to ask him if he wanted to come on Candid Conversation previously, as I reached out to several of them. And then when I explained to him that, because I hadn't had a reply back from him yet, that his invitation was still open, but I was going to go on Blount County Breakdown tonight and talk about this very post. And Gordon's answer was, let me see. Hang on, wait for it to populate. Slow at the moment. I think I will pass. Akert is not worth my response. Have a great day. And I said, thanks. So he had the opportunity to come and explain, other than what he said right here. What was his tone that he didn't like about what Mike Akert said? Obviously, he gave what we believe to be the truth, right? I mean, he gave where you could go back and find these things that were going on. And Moon has a lot to ask for. If you look up, what was his campaign donations and stuff like that? Just not exactly sure everything is as what it seems, you know. So just thought it was odd. It was a great little argument there, though, and I thought it was neat that Mike shared it. You know what I mean? So when he did, I thought, wasn't that odd? Because why would he pull for Moon like that? I know nobody's got an answer, but anyway.
I mean, we can speculate and guess. You know, why would you pull for anybody like that hard? There's something in it for you.
Well, I mean, we talk about taxes and all the property appraisals and stuff like that, and so Moon was the largest one ever in Blount County history. So that's just not talk. That's not just, I mean, that's fact. We can go back and look and see that, you know what I'm saying? And that was 11 years ago. You know, it's almost like it was, the beginning of something that was, you know, why does he want to come back from his his position where he's at in Nashville to run for mayor now when property appraisals are at an all-time high? It's weird.
Yeah, that doesn't seem right.
I think it's odd.
It is odd.
What, Jace?
So I think it's odd.
I think it's odd. So, and then let's see. The more of the Maryville signs. Did you guys see that?
I seen something about him there the other day.
You know, Kevin McNeil's amazing. You know what?
Oh yeah.
He
pulls a lot of good information.
He does.
Oops. What did I just do? Goofy. I messed up. Hang on. Here we go. Yeah. The more money, the merrible. Isn't it funny? Everybody's got their own sayings now. Because I'm like, the more of the same. And then somebody's got the more of the merrible. Then he's got the more money, the merrible. When the Maryville Downtown Alliance first pitched the More of the Maryville signage in May of 2024, it was stated no cost to the city. See council minutes below. Image 1. The signs would direct people to downtown restaurants. See news article from Tennessee Municipal League. Image 2. Fast forward, and we find $100,000 was in fact paid by the taxpayers of Maryville, and the second $100,000 was from the state of Tennessee. Recent budgeting records reveal that Maryville City Council has approved a total of $450,000 what is code named downtown wayfinding signage. The amount includes the state's $100,000 contribution. Why didn't the downtown restaurants and bars pay? Why didn't Drew Miles, Maryville City Council, Chamber of Commerce, Industrial Development Board Chair, and Maryville Alliance? Boy, that guy is busy. Tell us how much the real price tag to Maryville taxpayers would be. Stay tuned for my upcoming long post on the partnership's little brother, the Maryville Downtown Alliance. Click the image to enlarge. And so, right there. So if you live in the city of Maryville, were you aware? Something that wasn't supposed to cost you a penny, it cost you $450,000. And then I think if I read some of the comments, some of the people said they didn't even like the colors of the signs. They're that blue and green, and says the more Maryville, and they're everywhere. When we were at the billiard today, we could see it across. Did you see it across the parking lot over there? Yeah. It's just like, wow. I almost took a picture of it, but I didn't. But, yeah, $450,000 for them signs.
That's insane.
Beautiful signs.
They're their own business. They need to start making signs, I guess.
They could put up a homeless shelter or something, but, wouldn't want to help anybody that might have been pushed out of their home from all this aggressive pursuit of commercialization and industrialization. So,
okay,
we could put a pretty sign by their house.
What's that?
So we could put a pretty sign by their house.
Hey, somebody said to, what was it? The comments. Let's see. They asked for you, Robert, specifically. Let me look.
Oh, yeah?
Oh.
It's on the Facebook. It talks about a house that got appraised for $1 million.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Robert, that house in Franklin Manor where we met. Yeah, that's William Goins. Me and him
there you go.
met. Just, he was on a job site working, and I showed up to the job site to do some work, and we literally just started talking while we was there and figured out, oh, damn, we know each other, But yeah, over $1 million, and it's not that. It's a bigger house. I would say it's a medium size house. But jeez, man,
$1 million.
It just seems like the same thing. That the same type of house used to go for 160, 180,000. When I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I remember buying a house in my 20s that was like $50,000.
Right.
I can't imagine what it's worth now. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so I did ask a question this week about why aren't candidates debating?
Great question.
It was a good question, and we posted it a little bit everywhere. And you got some mixed people. Some people don't care about the debates. Some people think it's just an argument I don't think they necessarily understand how a debate's supposed to work. I think they really think it's going to cost a lot of money to get all the candidates to come together in one location, which is what they should be doing to begin with. You know what I mean? We have two people in the same party running for sheriff. They should be together debating. We have the commissioners coming together. They should be debating all within their own, their own realm there. You know what I mean? And it just made me wonder why they weren't. So, I posed a lot of questions. I was writing some stuff, and of course, I use AI. Some people don't like that. I like AI. So, and it says it just put it together everything I was saying, in a nice way, I guess. So it said the lack of public debates before the May 5th primary in Blount County is a common frustration for voters, but it usually stems from a combination of political strategy, logistical hurdles, and the nature of a primary election themselves. While there isn't the one official reason given by the candidates, here are the most likely factors contributing to the absence of a formal debate, and it just makes sense to me why they wouldn't do these things. Because I'll tell you, just me personally, after we've done some of these candid conversations, some of these people are extremely smart. They're knowledgeable, and they may do favorably in a debate. You know what I'm saying? And then that would take from the individual that was already running for office again, and so this it said incumbency advantage and strategy, and many of the races mentioned, such as sheriff, county clerk, commission, register of deeds, there are these long-term incumbents running to avoid risk. For an established incumbent, a debate offers more risk than reward. It provides a platform for a challenger to gain name recognition and land punches that might otherwise never reach the public eye. When you go to a meet and greet, you can't really I guess you could try to ask some of the harder questions. I just don't know if it's the right venue for that. And then the Democratic side of this is it's called, what was it, Calls and Coffee? So like they got a place you can show up and have coffee and cake, and then if you can't show up, they monitor something through a telephone call, So it says internally versus external battles. Since this is a primary, candidates are competing within their own parties, right? And often party leadership prefer to keep these contests low key to avoid keeping or creating deep divisions that could hurt the party. Why are we worried about a party?
Because we want to be precious with calls and coffee and meet and greets and bumping elbows and social time.
I mean,
I'd rather hear the debate than the 3-minute speech from each candidate.
I mean, so what if there's division in the party? I mean, division like that is healthy. There should be debate. There should be some sort of division. When I was in school, we did mock debates based on what the founders did in the very beginning of our nation. We already knew what the outcome was, so you already had the pros and the cons of the debating, that kind of thing. But it was moderated. It was question. You know what I mean? It wasn't like the pitchforks and that kind of thing. It was there was some structure to it. So we can do the same things. I mean, do they really think that the voters that dumb? And I'm not saying that they do, okay? I'm just saying the institution itself, if we do this, then the voter is going to see this, you know what I mean? And we can't have that happen, right? So, but I don't like the idea that, we could hurt the party. I don't care about the party, you know what I'm saying? And somebody in politics would tell me, well, right there I was wrong, I would lose, you know what I mean? So the format shift. Number 2, meet and greets versus debates. If you look at schedules for Blount County Republicans and the Blount County Democrat institutions, they prioritize meet and greets and cookies and calls over formal debates, which we just discussed. And then controlled environments. These events allow candidates to speak one-on-one with voters or give short stump speeches without being cross-examined by an opponent or a moderator. And then voter turnout focus. Primaries historically have much lower turnout than the general election. Candidates often feel their time is better spent door to door knocking and phone banking to get out the vote among their known base rather than preparing for a formal debate. And see, we talked about this last night with Alan that there's some of these candidates out there that have their voting base. They're automatically going to be there just because that's their candidate. They love it. You know what I mean? So, in order for a new candidate to come in, they have to create that plus in order to beat it. You know what I mean? So, in a formal debate, it would give them the opportunity to pitch their idea in a way where the public, you would have to agree with that, the public stance. You know what I mean? Versus how Crystal put it just a minute ago with the cookies and all that good stuff. So, and then logistical and organizational gaps. It says formal debates require a neutral third party to organize, fund, and moderate them. Resources and allocations, organizing 21 plus county commission seats plus 5 major countywide offices into a debate schedule is a massive undertaking. I ask, is it really?
It couldn't be any more of a massive undertaking than each individual candidate setting up multiple meet and greets and then coordinating with other candidates from multiple people at a meet and greet. Like it's doable, I think.
Right. I mean, they could
that GOP candidate forum we went to. That would have been the perfect little place, and they already had all of that set up.
Right.
And you could have basically pulled it off with what was there already anyway.
Yeah. And look, it doesn't all happen to have, like, you could do the 21 plus county commission seats on one venue, and then the other ones on another venue. You know what I mean? Where you could have, in 2 or 3 altogether versus, just one giant jumble. Besides, I wouldn't want it all jumbled together in one event anyway, because then the debate would be dwindled down to questions. And then somebody said that who creates the questions? And that, again, I think, the community submits questions, and they pick the ones that are the most, the ones that are being asked the most commonly, like, term limits and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, and then it said candidate participation. If even one major candidate, usually the front runner, declines to participate, the debate often gets canceled because it's no longer seen as a balanced or draw for the public. Now, I know that somebody sat down and had an interview with a local news station, and then the opponent didn't do it, so they had to scrap the interview altogether. I think in that case, there should be a spot where that thing is still ran, and that the news station should broadcast that the other opponent was given the opportunity to do the same thing, and they chose not to. So, for example, we gave out a bunch of invitations for the candid conversation. A bunch of people declined formally, which was fine. They had that right to do so, but they did that. There's a bunch that didn't say anything whatsoever, but the ones that came on that had the opportunity to do the same thing, those are the ones that never said a word whatsoever. Like they didn't even have to deal with the invitation because we're just a little podcast. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't think it's that big of a deal, the undertaking. You know what I mean? I think it could be very well organized. The senior center would have been a fine place to have it. If you want more public attendance, then you have it at one of the 4 high schools that we have in town that could obviously.
College auditorium.
There you go. The Clayton Center, right? I mean, that kind of thing. So I just, and then again, if one decides not to participate, right? So why the public interest often loses. It says candidates often view the public differently than the voter, which I thought was odd. In a primary, they are targeting a very small, specific slice of the population that actually shows up to vote in May. And if they believe a debate would alienate a portion of that base or give a struggling opponent a viral moment, they will choose the safer private meet and greet every time. I never thought about it that way till this year. there's a giant pool of candidates for commissioner. You know what I mean? And there's obviously somebody running against sheriff, court clerk, register of deeds, these kinds of things. I just don't understand why they can't have a formal public debate because I think we're getting away from some of the things that are what made these seats so popular back in the day anyway, you know. I would love to sit down and listen to two people argue about what they thought their budget was better or um, you know, just whatever their vision was over somebody's vision that's been around for 20 plus years. You know, the same old cracker type thing, you know what I mean? And we don't get that. We don't get that, and I don't understand why we can't have that. And if you ask for that, then here's the other thing. Then we get a part of the social media that comes out that thinks it's dumb. It's an argument, it's stupid, and that's why I think that they don't understand the process of how a debate is supposed to work because they've taken that out of public education, I think. You know what I mean? Did any of you go through any of that? I mean,
Oh yeah, we had
Crystal,
debates.
did you?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. My senior year,
Yeah.
we it was a requirement to take government, and I ran as the president, and my buddy was the vice president. And strangely enough, I got laryngitis the day of the debate, so I had to write my answers down on an index card.
Uh,
But yeah, even with laryngitis, I still participated in a mock
right.
debate in high school.
So, but I mean, the public didn't come at you. I mean, like I'm sure they had a base of people that were sitting out there as the
Mhm.
audience. You know, just because they didn't like your question or how you responded,
Mhm.
it wasn't a lynch mob. I think some of these people actually think that's what's the outcome is going to be is like, oh my gosh, don't touch my precious candidate, and and so anyway, just my thing. But anyway, it says ultimately the shift from public debates to controlled meet and greets trades the public's right to accountability for a candidate's desire for comfort. I agree with that. Our founders envisioned a representative republic rooted in the marketplace of ideas, where leaders were expected to defend their principles in the heat of public friction, not merely present them to a friendly audience. By sidestepping the debate stage, candidates bypass the very vetting process essential to a healthy democracy. Restoring the public debate is not just about local traditions. It's about honoring the constitutional intent that candidates record and visions be tested by the people for the people before they're ever granted the power to vote. I just don't understand where that type of logic is wrong reasoning. Just me.
Do you think the Republican or the candidates should go at each other before they get to the general election, and then have a debate with their other opponent for the primary? I mean the general.
No. And I'll tell you why. Because I wish, let me see if I can find the post. We found a post where a Democrat in the primary talked about he was voting for somebody else in the Republican primary to make
Makes
sure
you
that the
Yeah.
right. So
Isn't that legal?
I don't know. Gosh,
I think
I wish
it
I
was
could
called the
find.
Tennessee has the open
I thought it was
primary, I
on
think.
Mike Akers. I think it was on Mike Akers, uh, one of his posts, because he commented on it and said, "Thanks for the your idea thing, whatever." Goodness, I tried to save it, and let's see,
It was him.
that's not it. Did you find it?
No, I just remember.
Oh,
I
I thought you
remember.
was looking. Yeah,
Then
it might
he
take me a
said
minute to find it, but anyway,
said for the general he was going to go Democrat all the way.
right.
I thought I shared it in our private chat. Let's see. The picture of it. Hang on one second, guys. Somebody talk. So give me just a second, because I think this is important. Because if that's the case, then you know, what do they call that? An open primary?
Yep.
Is that wrong? Is that what that's called?
Yep, that's what it is.
Where a Democrat can.
Crossover vote.
Gosh.
I looked up, I just sent in the private chat the specific law that has to do with voting for the opposite party that you're not claiming or something.
So the guy's name, hang on. Whoops. Let's see. Jimmy Long. I pretty much know who I'm going to vote for in the primaries. I'm a Democrat, but I'll be voting in the Republican primary to voice my opinion in the mayor race and other races as well. However, November, I'll be voting straight Democratic ticket. Let me get back to the next text. And Mike Akert said, glad you're letting your opinion be heard. And I think he goes on to say that he's voting for Jared, actually. I just can't find the exact post on there, you know. Oh, I see what you did. You actually posted the link, didn't you? Of course, it won't let me. Yeah, it won't let me pop it up though.
Oh, hang on, let me send it to you in Messenger.
Yeah, do that. Yeah. So anyway, it's been a trying week. We got tomorrow. We have Catherine Delaney at 6:00 on Candid Conversation, right? And then I have what is it? Caught Up on Thursday. So here we go. Tennessee. Thank you. Share this tab instead. Yeah. That's the one, right? A voter may. A registered vote is entitled to vote in a primary election for office for which the voter is qualified to vote at the polling place where the voter is registered. The voter is a bona fide. There's that word. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, like if
bona fide member and.
Yeah. They're bona fide though if they voting outside of their political whatever. Bona fide meant you voted the same thing for X amount of years.
Yeah, I think that only applies to people running for office, though, not just regular voters. Unless you decide
it says registered voter. Because I think when you do the primaries, and maybe I'm off base with this, but I think when you go to the primaries and you vote, it'll ask which party you choose to be affiliated with or whatever, and you get the voting roster for that particular party. So if you usually vote Democrat and you want to vote on the Republican polls, I don't know how all that works, but it seems like it's worth thinking about anyways. It's been a long day.
It's a game. It's okay because the whole point was he publicly said that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, he openly said that he was a Democrat and he was voting in the Republican primary. And
if people are doing that, that's a conflict of interest for sure.
You would think, right? Absolutely.
A Democrat really don't have no choice for like mayor, though.
Well,
there ain't no Democrats running for mayor, are they?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, some of the other seats too. There's no Democrats running; it's all Republicans. So they kind of, if they wanted to vote for that certain seat, they wouldn't have a choice because there ain't no Democrats running.
Right. You got. I don't know if they just don't vote or what.
I don't.
Alan Latham said that Kevin Neal posted something on crossover voting. I do remember seeing that.
Yeah, Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah. I mean, there may be something to it. It just, again, you know, I mean, if you could do that, just, you know, you had a candidate that just, you could knock somebody out of a race by voting for number 2 or number 3 versus the candidate that, you know, the community wanted to win. And then your Democratic candidate goes on to the general and takes on a lesser Republican or
Yeah,
vice versa. Do you
that's
see what
what I'm
I'm
saying.
saying? Yeah. And wins the overall office that way. So just a little gutsy to put that out there the way that he did. Just thought it was let's see, Goen says that's why we need to close primaries to show your voter ID and to show your affiliations. I agree. I absolutely agree. So I blew all through I had, you know what I mean, for the Blount County stuff. I got all kinds of other crazy crap.
I got another one. I got a screen share.
Okay.
Maybe if I can figure it out. I don't know. I just so yeah, we've got the three main guys running for mayor, but there's one more option that's not been very vocal, and I just wanted to bring everybody's attention to it. Let's see, figure out how to do it. I probably can't figure out how to do it, but I'll try. Maybe.
You got the little share window there?
Yeah, but it's showing entire screen or like all this other
But it
stuff.
shows each individual page or the screen.
I'll just show the screen, I guess. Here. Is that showing anything?
Yeah. You want me to add it?
Yeah, add it.
There you go. It just
There's
it
Sean
shows all.
Carter Sr.
Yeah.
So he's got a new post out this evening. He's not really shared much of his platform, but if you check him out, Sean Carter Sr. is also running for mayor. He's a Republican, isn't he? I think, maybe.
I believe so.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just saw that and thought it was interesting and thought I would mention it tonight.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
There you go.
There I am.
Yeah, there you are. Yeah, he's new. What I was reading, he said he was late. Was he late to it or whatever?
Oh, he mentioned something about dealing with knee surgery or
Yeah.
something like that. So he's maybe been out of it for a time, but I'm glad to see he's letting his voice start to be heard, because I think some people are kind of growing tired of all the same platforms with different packaging. So worth a gander.
Was that the preacher guy?
I don't know if he's
Oh.
going to screen share it again, and I'll
Pretty
go
sure he ran us
this
for a
time.
commission seat in the last election.
See, I thought he said something about that. Yeah.
Says people here are tired of the good old boy system, nepotism, and the elite. He wants to run a grassroots word of mouth campaign. So, yeah, I don't know. It's worth a look-see.
Maybe we're trying to get a hold of him. See if he wants to
Yeah, that would be cool.
It would be. Get him to come on, candid conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Friday we got Melissa Marinville. We're doing that again. And then Saturday at the library at 1:30. Let me see if I got is it the new one? Let me see. So we'll share this one right here real quick. This one is, this one's tomorrow. Right there.
That one's tomorrow or Friday?
Yeah, Friday, my bad. Thank you for correcting me.
Those are your
Oh, wait a
stunt
minute.
doubles, ain't it?
What's that?
So that's your stunt doubles, ain't it?
Yeah, that's kind of odd, ain't it? Don't we look handsome? Hey, I'm not arguing, man. That's what AI does. You know what I'm saying? So, they,
I'm just messing with
that's I'm not arguing with that. It's a pretty handsome guy right there. So, hang on, hang on 1 second. I gotta find. I
Have you
gotta
got
find a
mine
little.
made yet?
What's that?
Have you got mine made yet?
No, what I'm gonna talk to her about making R4, right? So anyway, gosh, where's it at? I gotta find the right one, guys.
I'm looking for it too.
Front line, look at. There we go. See, she posted it. I shared it. I can't find it nowhere now. Nope, I found it. Whoa. Watch this right here. I found it. Took a minute. My lack of skills show up sometimes. Check that right there. Protect the children. So that is Saturday, April 18th, 1:30 to 3:30. And our very own Crystal Dawn organized this with a host of others, correct? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, that sounds accurate. I've
Yeah.
helped with the organizing, and I'm excited to hear all these folks speak and see what the public Q&A comes up with. That should be interesting. It's free and open to the public, and after the speakers are done talking, we're going to open up the floor to the attendees to ask any questions they may have.
It's amazing.
Going to be good.
It is going to be good.
We should have coffee too if you want coffee.
Oh, coffee too?
Yeah, we're catering coffee. At least a little bit of coffee anyway.
All right, so we got that. We got
Coffee.
Friday
Strawberry
coming
coffee.
on. It's a specific topic. It's systems, accountability, and child. Let me look real quick. Child sexual abuse. And so we're going to be wowed all over again, I'm pretty sure. She's awesome. So between having her on Friday evening and then seeing her on Saturday, that's going to be pretty cool. Having everybody there all together at the same time, talking about the same thing. Now, do you have anything up and coming, Crystal? Yes or no?
Well, I do. I've not quite gotten the event page up for it yet, but
Do you
just
want to
to
hold
put,
off or?
well, I'll go ahead with it just to put a word out there. I have received my approval for a rally or demonstration event that I'm going to have down by the courthouse on the 25th of April. It'll be 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. We'll be holding signs, and like I say, I haven't got it all structured and organized yet, but the main premise is going to be advocating for victims and survivors of CSA, and also to advocate for changes to the laws and the way these crimes are prosecuted and sentenced.
Okay.
I'll let you guys know when I get that event page up and we can share it.
Okay, let's see. Oh,
And
come on.
also of note, on the 26th of April, Dr. Melissa and Dr. Jeff Coggins, they're going to be doing another Protect the Children forum at the American Legion. I think that's from like 5:30 to 7:30. So yeah, that'll be another opportunity to hear from them. I think American Legion is asking people to bring canned foods for their pantry.
Okay. I've done it again. I have. I've removed the Facebook thing. I'll figure it out when it's time to close it out. I can still see the comments, but I'm watching it like everybody else is all of a sudden, and not from the page that monitors everything that's going on. Somehow it switched me to whatever's going on, which is fine. So, but anyway, we got anything else? No. It's fine because, man, I don't know about you. We've been working our butts off, so we've been doing a lot of stuff, and summer's out now and that kind of thing. So, worn out. I can't wait till after May 5th.
Right?
Yeah. Slow down a little bit. Yeah. Oh crap. Yep. So, with that being said, anybody got anything else before we get out of here?
Covered quite a bit.
No.
That was a pretty densely loaded episode.
It was.
Yeah. A lot going on.
A lot going on. Just wasn't as exciting. I didn't go to any car shows. I saw that they had one at William Blount this weekend. I wasn't really aware of it at the time.
Oh, we got a county commissioner meeting Thursday, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
Regular county commission hearing. If
what
any
time?
of y'all want to come to that, it's 6 o'clock, around 4:30 in the courthouse, where the juvenile is, the courthouse.
Gonna be there with boots on.
Yeah.
Do we have to buy our own pie? I can't see all the chat now. The same way I just kind of get a. Well, they're in there talking on Facebook all of a sudden. You know what I mean? And I can't see it. That just kind of stinks.
Yeah, fresh in mind.
I don't know what I got to do to get back into. Was it dashboard take you there? Oh, look at that. I found it. Check that shit out. Nope, I did not. I don't know, guys. Somehow. It says we got 374 views. I can't get back to that page. So hopefully when I kill this, it kills it automatically, you know what I mean? So it doesn't just sit here and run live. Kind of weird. I guess that's what happens when you're subpar in technology. All right, guys. I will see, I guess, Robert, tomorrow we got Christina. Then I'll see you at the commission. Then Friday, Melissa. And then Saturday at the event. So get some rest because we got a full week, don't we? Yeah. You going to come to any of that, Jason? You coming to any of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I do got one thing. Let me read this. This is about the property tax stuff. It says when property tax is reappraised every 2 years, the certified tax rate is adjusted down or dropped to ensure revenue neutrality. This prevents a sudden tax windfall for governments when property values rise during reappraisal cycle. The reappraisal cycle. So the tax rate or the it said where did it go? Sorry, I had this a minute ago. Where'd it go?
All right.
So what I'd like to know is since they did it now and they did the 2-year thing to us, I want to see where that certified tax rate is adjusted. I mean, if that's what they're talking about, that they're going to lower the tax rate to keep us from paying taxes. Is that what that means? I mean, if they're saying they did it to help us, then that's not true. It supposedly happens by design if you do a 2-year reappraisal, correct?
I don't know. I don't have I don't have a good answer for that. We was kind of hoping Robert was going to chime in, I think.
I'm sorry about that.
I found it again.
On the 2-year appraisals, is that what she's talking about again?
Yeah, when like they said in that meeting, when they did the 2-year tax appraisal, that lowers the certified tax rate, and he was calling it something else. I can't remember what he was calling it, but it says the certified tax rate is adjusted down or dropped if you do the 2-year reappraisals. So that means that, like I said, by design, the tax rate is either supposed to go down or dropped. So if the commissioners are saying they dropped the tax rate for us because of that, that's not the case. The case is it's supposed to drop automatically with the 2-year reappraisal.
I see what you're saying. I get we're fixing to find out, ain't we?
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah,
it wasn't a gift.
I'll have to check into that because, as far as I understood, that they got a adjusted tax rate sent down from Nashville, and then they could keep that or modify it, whether it be up or down.
Right. It says, Alan says the commission will vote on a certified tax rate equalization. Alan's in the chat. I got it back. I figured it out. So I did right. So, and then Melissa's in the chat too. She says hello to everybody.
Hey, Melissa. Hey, Alan.
Hey.
Yep. You got Daryl was he in the chat? Not Daryl.
James in there.
James was in there for sure. William was talking about Allenwood community. They got an area where you could do a debate at. I'm trying to see if I missed anybody. Yep, Daryl was in the chat. He says he was a city resident. Oh, it moved on me. Hang on. Must be talking about the signs. The more of the Maryville signs.
All right.
Yeah. Trying to find it. Anyway, he says he lives in the city. Every time somebody types something in, it stops me from scrolling back.
They're typing fast.
Never mind. I can't read it. Yeah. Well, anyway, everybody's in the chat. Thank you for the chat. But a lot of good information out there for sure, man. The appraisals, the tax, all that stuff, the fear mongering, the non-fear mongering. Pay attention to who you're going to vote for. I know they're talking about voting early. I did call the election commission today about that, about what happens to your vote when you vote early. So essentially, when you vote early, you just get to vote in different locations. You not necessarily have to go to your designated polling place on May 5th, right?
Right.
So if you're just driving down the road, you just go by Everett, you can run in there and vote real quick. But your vote is not tied to your name. So I wanted to know what happened if I voted. How would I be able to check to make sure that my vote went to the destination that I wanted it to? And they told me when you vote on the tabulator, it spits out that piece of paper. You take that paper and you give it to the individual, and he puts it in that thing, and then it drops it down below it into a box that gets sealed. That box, after May 5th election, sits sealed for 30 days, and then it gets opened. Once it's opened after it's been sealed for 30 days, it gets put into its proper location, but it's not based off of your name. It's based off of that registration number. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So your vote is not tied to who you are. It's just that you cast a vote and that you are either Republican or Democrat or independent. And based on that criteria, that's what it went to. So then I asked them, how do they know who's ahead during the early polls? And they said, well, they didn't. They didn't know. But what they could tell was how many Democrats had voted and how many Republicans had voted based off of the number that's been to the locations. And so I asked where they got that number at, and they said it was on a flash drive. It keeps count of everything gets zeroed out every evening. It starts at 0 every morning. If I'm saying all this correctly, I'm no expert. It's just paraphrasing the conversation, that I had with him. And then after the 30 days, that sits around for 22 months. After that, it gets destroyed, or however they do that with those ballots. So your vote technically just sits until 8 o'clock May 5th, when they open up those sealed containers and count the ballots there for the final code. So anything that you may hear in the early voting that would give you the impression that somebody's leading or losing is not fact. So when we see these pollsters come out with their version of an educated guess, you know what I mean? So it's so it didn't make. Understood it. I asked one of them if they would come on and talk about it. It would be interesting, and so he let me leave a message to the guy that's over it. I don't know that I'll hear back from him, but it was worth a shot. You know what I mean? To know just exactly how this works exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because the way I believe it, just seems like there's a lot of room for error, mistake, or whatever. So. But it was interesting, to say the least. So take a photo of that, Williams says. Alan says the commission will vote. Oh, yeah, we already did that. Take a photo of your paper that you get that comes out of your tabulator. That's probably a good idea. Never thought about that.
Say aloud that.
What? Again, he said that we should find somebody that would come and help work in the vote, the polling, and all this, and that way we would work in it firsthand and then understand the inners and the outings of it. But I was just more interested in somebody that was already experienced in it, coming and talking about how the system works. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But anyway, good stuff, guys. So everybody get some rest. It was good to see everybody. We'll get to see each other for real together on Saturday and let's get a group photo together, that kind of thing. So do that kind of stuff, and then we'll go from there. So Friday, Melissa. Thursday's Caught Up. Wednesday's Christina Delaney, and Saturday is our big get together. So all right, guys, I will talk to you all later.
Y'all have a good one.
And
See ya.
we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
See ya.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching the show, and we're going to end it with a little bit of people on the porch. Like, share, follow. Hope you found the information to be good information. And if you didn't get to see everything we talked about at the beginning of the show, you can always watch it on replay. Again, we're on Rumble, Facebook Live, and YouTube. So thanks, Alan. Thanks, William. Appreciate all the support, guys. James, Daryl, Melissa, all you guys out there. Y'all have a good evening.
My heart, pumping all day long, getting me to morning when darkness comes. My heart, ooh. with these things that I call my own. Life, it isn't always grand, but when you finally take that stand, you become a man. You needed to You meant everything to me. While you left, I could not see. I guess people just do what they want. Yeah. Time, it goes faster every day, and my heart, it leads the way, while the future, it fades into a memory. Is always at my back. My back is always strapped with these things that I call my own.